Using logic evidence to pursue. Use principle of effect, logic, and evidence to develop a persuasive message. Logic is a formal system of rules for making inference. Evidence is made up of the fact, example, static, and the expert opinion that you use to support the points you wish to make. Understanding types of reasoning. There are three major ways to structure an argument to reach a logical conclusion. First, inducative reasoning. Reasoning that arrives at the general conclusion from specific intents or example. Reasoning by analogy is a special type of inducative reasoning. This is a type of comparisons. It compares one thing, person, or process with another to predict how something will perform and respond. The third, reasoning by sign, occurs when two things are so clearly related that existence of one thing means that the other things will happen. Deductive reasoning. Reasoning from a general statement or principle to reach a specific conclusion. This is the opposite of inducative reasoning. It can be structured in the form of syllogism. A syllogism is a way of organizing an argument into three elements: a major premise, a minor premise, and a conclusion. Major premise starts with a general statement that serves. Minor comparison is a more specific statement about an example that is linked to the major premise. Conclusion is based on the major premise and the more specific minor premise. Causal reasoning. When you reasoning by cause, you relate two or more events in such a way as to conclude that one or more of the events cause the others. Adapting reasoning for a culture-diverse audience means that we cannot assume that other audience from another culture different from us have the same assumption about what is logical, what is logic and reasonable that we have. Supporting your reason with evidence. You cannot pursue by simply stating a conclusion without proving it with evidence. It is essential to make sure that your evidence logically support the inducative, deductive, or causal reasoning. Indicative, make sure to have enough fact, example, static, and credible opinions to support your conclusion. And the second is deductive. Need evidence to document the truth of your initial generalization. And the third, causal. Evidence is vital in causal reasoning to establish the message. Using evidence effectively. Using credible evidence, listeners are more likely respond to argument when they believe the use of evidence is credible. Use new evidence. Try to find evidence that the listener has not heard before. Use a specific evidence. Be more specific on what the topic is about, as long as the truth and clear. Use evidence to tell a story. Use evidence appropriate to diverse audience. Avoiding faulty reasoning. Many pursue use inappropriate technique called fallacies. A fallacy is a false reasoning that occurs when someone attempts to pursue without adequate evidence or with arguments that are irrelevant or inappropriate. And the last is understanding how message evoke emotion cannot help you develop appropriate emotional appeals. Emotional response theory suggests that emotion response can be classified along three dimensions: pleasure, arousal, and dominance. From a pleasure to displeasure. Pleasurable stimuli consist of such things are imaging or smiling, healthy babies, or daydreams about winning millions in a sweepstakes. From arousal to non-arousal, you become aroused emotionally by seeing a snake